Good afternoon, everybody. Chris Allen here with another update for you on the SAM channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, all sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. This is for the round two that is coming up later on this evening. So I wanted to take this opportunity while some of you are noticing the sun is out and we've had our first wave of activity come through. And like we said before, it was pretty eventful this morning with a lot of down trees and power lines. There were numerous reports of flooded streets, and we still are dealing with some of the cleanup that is going on. We've got our News 40 crews that are out and about this afternoon, checking into some of that and gathering footage, and some of that you can see on our social media pages. But what I wanted to focus on here is just to let you know that we are in between systems. We are not done with the severe weather yet. We still have another round to go, and it's going to come through later on this evening. Right now is kind of the calm before the next wave starts to come through. And like I said here, things are pretty quiet at the moment. This is the view from downtown in our AAA Systems live camera. You can see that the sun is breaking through the clouds, and it's really not bad right now. But it is warm, and it is muggy, and it's that available moisture that's in the air, plus the approaching cold front, that is going to set us up for round two of severe weather later on this evening. Here is the view from my Plano cam in Plano, Kentucky, just outside my window. You can see that pretty much the same view with the blue sky and some of the clouds. Notice how the clouds, if you stare at this for just a few seconds, you can see the clouds moving from left to right. My camera is facing north, so you can tell that we've got a good west to southwest wind. Upper winds are blowing in that direction, and so upper winds are very strong, and therefore we're going to have a very sheared environment, and that's winds that change direction with height. And that, along with the available moisture and the cold front coming in, is why we're so concerned about what's going to happen a little bit later this evening. So we'll get to the timing of all of this and let you know what we think now is going to happen after we get rid of this next round of activity. So that's coming up here. So everybody just kind of follow along. I'm not going to try to make this a very long. I just want to make sure that all of you understand that this is not the first wave. This is the second wave, and the second wave could be worse than what we saw this morning. I can tell you that here during the Plano cam, while I had the Plano cam up and was watching the storms about 10 o'clock this morning, that was some intense wind. It brought down some tree branches, but not much more than that here in Plano. And I know some of you, I've seen the pictures all over the place of power lines and power outages that are still out there working on. Just as they try to get the power back up and try to get things reconnected, it looks like we're going to get hit again. So let's take a look at the briefing from the Weather Service. They had another briefing this afternoon, and this is the very latest information that the National Weather Service is showing us. So round one is over, okay? The remaining storms are now down toward Knoxville, Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, now moving into the Virginias. Round two is poised to begin about 8 Eastern or 7 o'clock Central time. So we've got a couple of hours Although round two, when it begins, will begin to our west, and that includes places like St. Louis, Carbondale, the Boot Hill of Missouri. Already there is new development there, and some of it is severe, where the sun has been out, and now we have just really exploding thunderstorms over that particular area, which I'll show you on radar in just a second. But as you can see, we are still under this level 3 enhanced risk. That has not changed. That level 3 is right there on the middle of the scale. Individual storms will develop over western Kentucky, southern Indiana, and congeal into a line. We're looking at a very long line of intense storms that will move from northwest to southeast across the area. So with that, we're expecting widespread damaging winds. Again, they could be close to hurricane force, 74 miles per hour or greater. We could have some wind gusts up to 80. And with this wet ground, it's going to be easy to topple over some trees. So that just keep that in mind. The trees that came down this morning, there looks to be more coming down this evening, even after dark. And yes, the sun is out right now, and that does play into the instability. In fact, the instability factor right now, the fuel, the juice needed for severe weather is just almost off the charts. Spin up tornadoes certainly are possible, and hail. So that's still on the table. Flash flooding, especially over south central Kentucky, that's us, could be another 1 to 3 inches of rain with locally higher amounts possible. If you saw my update this morning, I said there could be some locations that pick up close to 4 inches of rain just today. What's the confidence level here? High. So everything is still going to happen. Now that the sun is out, it's all bets are off. Now, how bad is that going to be? It's hard to say. We're just going to have to see how this begins to unwind and unwrap itself over the next several hours. There's still that probability of damaging wind, just like we had this morning. Power outages likely. So what I would advise you to do is right now, while you've got this downtime before the next wave comes in, power up your cell phones and your tablets, whatever you plan to use to monitor the weather and to receive bulletins. Power those up now. Get them to 100%. I would also take this time to review where you're going to go. If a warning is issued for your area, safe spot, closet, interior room, basement, any place like that, away from outside walls and windows. Because you saw what happened this morning, and that wasn't even a tornado. Yes, there were tornado warnings, but there were no tornadoes. Okay? So it was all straight line wind damage. There may have been a brief spin up back in Christian County, the Hopkinsville area, but that's it. So you saw what happened this morning. That's going to happen again tonight and without daylight. So power everything up, know where you're going to go, have that on the ready just in case. Okay, just plan on staying in this evening. You've had a pretty good day after this morning's storms. Now, if you're planning a cookout or something like that, I would make it as early as possible, like in the next hour or two, and then wrap it up. Get everybody out of the pool. This is going to come in and it's going to be dangerous. The tornado threat is still there, but it's on the low end, but still a higher risk, as you see back here, that hatched area into far western, southwestern Kentucky, not so much the Bowling Green area. As I stated this morning in my first podcast today, tornado is not the primary threat. So I want you to be cognizant of the fact that it doesn't take a tornado to have damage. As you've seen already this morning, straight line winds is all it takes. So we're looking at that again. Hail is a possibility. Yes, there is that threat of hail still in the region for this evening. That includes after dark. It's possible. Now, I still believe that our primary threat is going to be flash flooding. Yes, when it's almost like 1 and 2, almost equal. Wind damage and flooding. Tornado threat is a bit lower than those two things. So the takeaway here, and you can see we're now in a moderate risk. This was just over the Bowling Green area this morning, but it's been extended further west. All of southern Kentucky and much of western Kentucky under a moderate risk for flash flooding. That means rapid flooding in a very short amount of time. 1 to 3 inches of additional rainfall or more possible. And that's on top of what we've already received. And some of you already have received 2, 3, 3.5, even up to 4 inches of rain. This is going to cause some flooding of roads, rivers, creeks, and streams. It's almost relentless. And based on the rains that we've had already up to this point, this is going to make matters worse. So if you live in an area that is prone to flooding, look out. And look down here, high confidence that this is going to take place. And on top of that, it's going to be nighttime. That's a problem. Don't be out driving in this stuff. Now, timing and confidence levels. For this next round, round 2. Round 1 is over. Isolated instances of 75 mile per hour plus winds. That's category 1 hurricane strength. You can see the tornado risk here is on the low to medium. It's come up a little bit more from what we had earlier today. Hail threat has come up just a little bit more, but still the highest risk is damaging wind and flooding. So that's going to continue to be an issue. So again, level 3, high confidence in an outbreak of severe storms. And of course, as we've been stating, have 2 or 3, 4 or 5 different ways to get the weather. I mean, the more, the better. Please take heed of that. Now, radar. Let me get this. Looking at, I was just checking some of the messages in here. We've got over 600 or so in here watching, right, for joining in. So somebody's asking, is there a round 3? No, there's not going to be a third round. After this next round, we should be done. Now, there will be slacking off of the storms once they get past Bowling Green and to the east. And that's when we're going to find leftover showers and thunderstorms, nothing severe that's going to take us into early Monday morning. So some of you that live along and east of 65, you're going to be still dealing with some of these storms into the early morning hours tomorrow. So just know that. I want to show you a radar. And let me get caught up here because this is a high resolution radar. And sometimes if you see because it's taking a lot of resources, to get this radar up, but I wanted to show you just what we're looking at here for the current time. Okay, yeah, it's having trouble with that. Let me go to a different radar because it's having trouble with that one. Okay, let me get rid of that one. Hang on just a second. Let's go to this. Always have a backup. And that's what you should have for severe weather coverage as well. Have more than just a couple of ways of getting the weather. It's very important. Okay, here we go. So here's a look at the current radar as of 5:17 p.m. Sunday afternoon. You can see here's round one moving away from us. But round two is just getting started. And all of these, I can tell you that all of these cells, every single one of them, are severe thunderstorm warnings. They have warnings with them. And this is what's going to dive southeast into, let me show you this. Look at all this sun. Here we are right here, Bowling Green. Look at all this sun. Just a few clouds here and there. And here comes round two. So round two is going to meet up with this very unstable air. It is incredibly unstable in the Boot Heel of Missouri, southern Illinois, western Kentucky, west Tennessee, parts of Arkansas. So as this thing comes diving down, it's going to be one big long line of thunderstorms. Right now, our air is very stable at the moment. It's capped off. Yes, it's warm. Yes, it's muggy, but it's capped off from round one of thunderstorms that came through this morning. But as this moves southeast, it is going to become incredibly unstable. And this is only going to fuel this line of storms and make it pretty hard to deal with later on. So that's the concern, is how this is going to be. Here are equal lines of pressure. Air pressure is dropping back here with this area of low pressure, and the actual cold front is back here to the west. So the winds will start to pick up as well, and it's going to be, whoops, I'm sorry. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I just saw your messages over here. Radar's not showing. Okay, I'll go back over this. Thank you. So here, this is why I'm concerned about round two. If all of us were cloudy, here's Bowling Green, western Kentucky. Here's that second wave, second round coming in. If we were cloudy, I wouldn't worry so much about, not really worry, but be too concerned about it. Then I would say we're looking pretty stable. It doesn't look like, we're going to be able to maintain all these clouds, or we're going to be able to maintain cloudiness. Therefore, the air mass over our area is going to stay stable. But you can see now, here's the animation. See how all this is coming together back here in Missouri? Look at all those lightning strikes. And as I mentioned, every one of those storms in Missouri right now is under a severe thunderstorm warning. I have not seen any tornado warnings yet. Well, no, that just changed. There is one right outside of St. Louis, right up here. Just a new tornado warning just came out west of St. Louis. Okay, so St. Louis is about to get round number two, but look at all this clear air over our area. Yeah, there's a few clouds around, but not enough to prevent this from being a, serious situation. Okay, now I want to show you radar. Here's the radar with all those thunderstorms, and I'll put that into motion, and you can see how all of this is really congealing really coming together. Some of these that are individual storms are becoming more supercellular, but they too are also starting to congeal and come together. So eventually we're going to see this round 2 become one big line of intense thunderstorms. Severe, yes. Wind damage capable, yes. Large hail capable, yes. And even in some cases, tornado capable. Am I talking about an outbreak of tornadoes? No. That risk is on the low side, but I think we could, by the time it gets here, be in a situation where we could see a few spin-ups. Now, what am I looking at as far as timing? Right now, it looks like it's going to be about 9, 10 o'clock for Bowling Green. West of Bowling Green, it is going to be earlier, about 7, 8, Western Kentucky. Maybe even, it's almost 5:30 now, maybe even a little bit before then. But I am looking at, for the Bowling Green area, I-65 corridor, that second line you see right there is going to come in at about 9 to 10 o'clock. Based on its movement right now and how it's behaving, that's what I'm seeing. Now, let's hope that we have a stable enough air mass so that in that clear area that you're seeing in between round 1 and round 2, that we don't have individual cells that pop up with the daytime heating that we're getting right now. So, because any of those that pop up, individual cells could be rather dynamic, could be supercellular, and maybe cause a few tornado warnings. But right now, the air's pretty stable. It's been very worked over from what we had this morning. That's good for us, but the instability factor here and the wind shear is still available for that second wave to feed off of. And that's the problem. So I just wanted you to know exactly how all of this is coming together. Don't let your guard down. You've got a couple of hours here to get in a cookout, maybe a couple of hours to spend time with your kids at the pool. If you're out at a lake somewhere, you need to just pay attention and know that this is coming. Most likely after dark for us, but it's going to be during the nighttime hours or during this evening when it's dark. It's going to be hard to see flooded roads, down trees, down power lines. It's going to be hard to drive. With that kind of rain that came down this morning, you couldn't see anything. It's a blinding rainfall. So that is most likely, again, what we're going to see. I don't see any way that right now that this is going to miss us or fall apart. The only thing that could happen that would be on the positive is that all those storms back in Missouri spend a lot of that energy there, but it's running into a lot of available energy. If it weren't for that, I would say maybe it won't be so bad. But again, the tornadoes are not the number one threat with this. Damaging wind, flooding. Damaging wind, flooding. Damaging wind, flooding. Those are the two main threats that we have got to watch out for this evening. Some hail possibly thrown in there as well. Okay, so the plan is here that once this next line approaches, I will be at the TV station. I won't be here, but I'll be at the TV station, and you'll be able at News 40 to watch everything on the News 40 app. Okay, we had that earlier today. Everything went live right here on the News 40 weather app. So if you've downloaded that, You won't have to have your TV on. You can watch us on the app, which is right here. That circle. Take your phone. I want you to take it right now. I'll do it with you. Those of you that have not done this, on your phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, I want you to open your camera app. Just open your camera like that, okay? Then hold it up to that circle. Now, when you hold it up to that circle, you will get a link. See that link right there, that yellow link? You click that, and it will take you to the page where you can download the News 40 weather app. And it will do that for Android or iPhone. Focus just went out when I did that. Sorry. Let's see if I can get it back. Yeah, it's going to stay blurry, isn't it? Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. So download that. And like I said at the beginning, power up your phones and keep them powered up for the time being. Let's see if that's... No, I'm going to have to readjust the focus now. Karen, can we get it without scanning? Yes, you can. Go to WNKY.com/apps. WNKY.com/apps. That way you don't have to scan the QR code. Or you can go to the App Store, or you can go to Google Play, look for WNKY weather. Okay. All right. I think I'm done. Just want to make sure you guys are aware of what's coming. Sorry for the out of focus here. I don't know if that will change it or not. It's wanting to, there we go. It was wanting to back focus is what it was. Okay. Still without power on Butler Way. Yeah, there's still some people still without power. Yeah. So yes, everything has been upgraded as I showed you. Moderate risk. So yeah, let me, one more thing here. I feel like Columbo. One more thing. I think one of my maps may have been outdated. Yeah. One more thing before I let you go. Somebody just pointed that out to me, and I'm sorry I didn't see it. Okay. Yes. So from Bowling Green back west, that's now a level 4 moderate risk. Yes, that's the upgrade. So that map that I showed you earlier was an older map. I apologize for that. But here you see that's an upgrade. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter if it's level 3 or level 4. It doesn't really matter. It's just a line of delineation between where it could be the worst weather and where it could be still bad. And still, you see the tornado risk has now been extended further east. So yes, you are correct. And we're in the hatched area, which means there is a possibility of an EF2 or higher tornado. 10 to 14% for the most part. Greater possibility, 30 to 44% in western Kentucky, Missouri, Boot Hill, western Tennessee. So yes, thank you for pointing that out. And there's the hail, no, severe wind in the hatched area. Once again, winds of 74 miles per hour or higher, still a possibility. Not too concerned about the hail threat. I don't think it's going to be much of a difference maker for us. Let me, gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm having some computer issues here where it's trying to choke on me, I guess, because more people are online. Usually I do this in the mornings and it's not this chunky. But anyway, here we go. Yes, there's the upgrade. Finally. So we have been upgraded to a level 4 moderate risk. Bowling Green and all of Western Kentucky. Tornado threat, it has been extended further east, but still notice we're in the 10 to 14% category, with the caveat, with those little black lines indicating, yes, there could be an EF2 or higher tornado if it happens. 10 to 14% chance. Much higher chance of that happening Western Kentucky. Damaging wind, that threat is still on the table, and the hatched area indicating 75 miles per hour or higher. Category 1 hurricane strength. Hail, again, as I mentioned, not as much of a threat as everything else. So yes, all of this is a higher risk than what we saw this morning. So, all right. Now, I think we got everything in place, all the correct graphics, everything ready to go. It's 5:30 now. Couple of hours you've got to get prepared. Couple of hours. Go ahead and fire up your grill. Be at the pool. If I were at the lake or camping, I would go ahead and start working your way back. Just to be on the safe side. Have your weather radios ready. Have your phones and devices powered up and ready to go 100% before all this happens. Again, I will not be here on the SAM channel with updates, but I will be at News 40 this evening with the rest of the team, Darius and Noah, and we will be keeping you up to date. We will live stream to Facebook and social media and to our app. So if you download the app, you don't have to watch us on TV. You can watch us on the app, on your phone, in your safe spot. Okay? God bless you. Thank you all for chiming in and being a part of this. Let's just, I make no bones about it. I pray that that we all stay safe and that we all stay aware. And I even have to pray sometimes that, God, keep me on the right page. Keep my head clear, but let me be, head on a swivel and ready to go if things, the bells and alarms and everything start going off. I want to be able to convey to you the right message, and let's just all do our best to stay safe. God bless you. Have a great rest of the Memorial Day weekend. Let's hope and pray later it doesn't get too bad. Thank you for watching.